How much of your life have you surrendered to someone else's chaos? Even Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the mind becomes unshakable when it refuses to absorb what does not belong to it. Today, I'll share 8 Stoic ways to stay untouched by the drama around you. 1. Pause before reacting. A still mind cannot be dragged. A moment of stillness is often the only barrier between peace and chaos. When you pause, you reclaim your inner space before someone's emotion enters it. Drama thrives on speed, on quick reactions, raised voices, and impulsive responses. But a slowed mind breaks the cycle. It dissolves the fire before it spreads. I remember a moment when someone tried to provoke me in a meeting. Their tone was sharp, their words calculated to trigger a response. But when I paused, breathed, and said nothing for a few seconds, the tension collapsed on its own. Practical tips. Before responding, silently count to 3. Let your breath anchor you back into your own mind. Then speak from clarity, not from the emotional current of someone else. When was the last time a single pause could have saved you from unnecessary conflict? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." And once you've mastered the pause, the next step is learning to see reality without letting emotion distort it. 2. Stay factual, not emotional. Drama dies when truth stands firm. A mind ruled by emotion becomes a puppet. A mind ruled by reason becomes a compass. Drama grows when feelings are treated as facts. But Stoicism teaches us to separate what we feel from what is true. When you look only at the facts, others lose the ability to manipulate your reactions. I once misunderstood a friend's message because I read it through frustration, not clarity. My mind filled in intentions that weren't there, and conflict almost erupted. Only when I looked strictly at the facts did I realize nothing was wrong at all. Practical tips. Before reacting, ask, what are the facts without my interpretation? Strip the scene of assumptions, tone, and imagined motives. Respond only to what is real, not to the story your emotions create. How many arguments in your life existed only in your head, not in reality? Epictetus wrote, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about them." Once you see clearly, the next step is setting boundaries quietly, because not all battles require noise. 3. Set quiet boundaries. Calm lines speak the loudest. A boundary spoken softly often echoes louder than a boundary shouted. Most drama enters our lives because we allow unrestricted access to our time, attention, and emotional energy. A quiet boundary, simple, firm, and calm, creates a space others instinctively respect. When people realize they cannot pull you into their turbulence, they eventually stop trying. There was someone in my life who constantly unloaded negativity onto me. Every conversation became a storm I didn't choose to enter. Only when I calmly told them I needed space did I reclaim the peace I had been losing for years. Practical tips. Set limits without hostility. Your tone should be steady, not defensive. State what you can and cannot engage with, without justification. Let your consistency, not your volume, communicate your truth. Where in your life do you need a boundary, but fear setting one? Seneca wrote, "You must live for yourself before you can live for anyone else." And once your boundaries are set, the next Stoic lesson teaches you to protect your peace from within, not by controlling others, but by mastering your perspective. 4. Don't take things personally. Their storm is not your sky. Most people speak from their wounds, not their wisdom. When someone lashes out, it often reveals more about their internal struggle than about you. Taking things personally binds your peace to someone else's emotional weather. But when you detach, you see their words for what they truly are: projections, not truths. I once received harsh criticism from someone during a stressful project. At first, it stung deeply, and I questioned my worth. Only later did I learn they were dealing with personal turmoil, and their anger had nothing to do with me. Practical tips. When criticized, pause and ask, Is this about me or about them? Observe the tone, timing, and emotional charge. They often reveal the real source. Respond with calm neutrality, refusing to mirror the chaos thrown at you. How much unnecessary pain have you carried simply because you believed someone's storm was directed at you? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone does wrong, the harm is to themselves. They haven't truly harmed you." Once you stop taking things personally, you gain the strength to choose silence, turning it from avoidance into a powerful act of discipline. 5. Choose silence over conflict. Silence is a shield, not surrender. Silence is often the language of the wise when words would only feed the fire. Not every provocation deserves a response. Many battles exist only because someone chose to fight them. Silence denies drama the fuel it needs to survive. When you refuse to engage, you weaken the emotional grip others try to place on you. I once replied to negativity online, believing I needed to defend myself. But every response created another wave of conflict. Only when I stopped replying did the noise fade, and peace returned effortlessly. Practical tips. Learn to recognize when silence is the stronger move. Not out of fear, but out of mastery. Pause and assess whether your response will help or merely escalate. Let your restraint demonstrate the strength others cannot see. How many storms in your life would have ended sooner if you had chosen silence? Epictetus wrote, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." And when silence becomes your shield, you naturally rise above another source of chaos, the lure of gossip. 6. Detach from gossip. What doesn't concern you shouldn't consume you. A mind that feeds on gossip starves its own peace. Gossip pulls you into conflicts that never belong to you. It creates imagined enemies, unnecessary tension, and distractions from your own path. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, and the lives of others never fall into that category. I once listened to a rumor about a coworker and let it shape my perception of them. Later, I realized none of it was true. My judgment had been borrowed, not earned. It taught me how dangerous secondhand emotions and secondhand stories can be. Practical tips. Step away when conversations shift from truth to speculation. Redirect the topic gently or excuse yourself entirely. Let people know through your behavior, not moral lectures, that gossip finds no home in you. How much mental space have you lost to stories that were never yours? Seneca wrote, "Busy yourself with what truly matters, and you will have no time to meddle in others' affairs." And once you stop carrying the weight of others' stories, the next lesson is learning to fiercely guard your own energy. 7. Protect your energy. Guard your attention like a fortress. What you allow into your mind becomes the architect of your inner world. Every conversation, every distraction, every emotional pull carries a cost. If you don't choose where your attention goes, someone else will claim it for you. Stoicism teaches that energy is finite, and peace requires intentional allocation. There was a season in my life when chaos kept finding me. Not because life was chaotic, but because I kept giving my attention to the wrong people. The moment I became selective, my days grew quieter and my mind grew stronger. Practical tips. Audit the people and habits that drain you without giving anything back. Protect your mornings, your focus, and your emotional bandwidth like sacred ground. Choose environments and conversations that elevate rather than exhaust you. What would your life look like if you protected your attention as fiercely as your possessions? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And once your inner fortress is guarded, the final Stoic lesson is knowing when to walk away before the fire ever reaches your gates. 8. Walk away early. The wise exit before the fire spreads. Leaving is not weakness. It is the strength to preserve what matters most. Most drama escalates because we stay long after our intuition warns us. Wisdom lies in recognizing the early signs of chaos and choosing not to participate. A graceful exit protects your dignity, your peace, and your emotional clarity. I once stayed in a heated discussion longer than I should have. I wanted resolution, understanding, closure. But all it brought was noise. Until I walked away, and silence became the answer I needed. Practical tips. Identify the moment when a conversation shifts from productive to chaotic. Choose disengagement over escalation. Leave calmly, without resentment or explanation. Give yourself permission to exit anything that no longer aligns with your peace. How many fires in your life could have been avoided if you had walked away sooner? Epictetus wrote, "You are not compelled to agree. You are not compelled to engage." And with these 8 principles, the Stoic path becomes clearer. Peace begins where reactivity ends. So, let me ask you this. Which of these 8 Stoic practices do you struggle with the most? Pausing, boundaries, silence, or walking away? Your answer might be the doorway to your next breakthrough. The Stoics believe that peace is not found by controlling the world, but by mastering the self. If this message resonated with you, I'd be honored if you'd stay on this journey with me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and explore the other reflections waiting for you on the Stoic 8. And remember this: your peace is not a coincidence. It is a discipline. And every day, you get to choose it.